Good morning, everybody. We're going to be doing a drum practice stream where I kind of share how I practice and whatnot and respond to some questions in the chat if there are any. Now, in all of these practice streams, I actually keep them up on YouTube, so there's almost 300 of them. When you click on any of these in the playlist, then it will actually have timestamps in the description that allows you to jump to different sections so you can see, like, how did I work on speeding up my upstrokes? Then you can go right to there. Or if there's a question on like how to improve marking time, then I usually will include a timestamp in there as well, etc. So you can find all those on that particular playlist. Now, in the live streams when I'm answering questions, I will go back and edit those into a fine-tuned little answer where I get rid of the ums and the pauses where I'm thinking, and I will put them in this playlist, the drumming tips playlist. There's like 8 or 9 hours of free tips in here. So lots of different questions that were answered. So like this first one, it talks about, let's see, this is more important than chops. So it talks about something that's more important than chops. And then the rest of the video has some other tips in there as well. So I highly recommend checking out that playlist if you're interested in it. And you can find this on my home tab of YouTube. And they're all free right in here. Any of the videos that say members first are scheduled to release publicly. But there's like 150 of them currently scheduled to release. A new play along every single day. And a new drumming tips every Friday is the current schedule for that. If you want to find better organized without all the gaming and without the computer science stuff, just go to the link that is at the top of the screen up here, /drum, and that takes you to my website, which has all of the chop exercises organized here, including the one we're going to work on today that I just wrote yesterday. We've got 372 grid variations, 513 16th note grid variations. We've got 55 drum charts, 166 marching bass exercises, 139 technique exercises, and then this is the playlist with all the practice streams. This is the playlist with all the drumming tips, and then here's the gear that I use. Now, let's get motivated to stream with Shia LaBeouf. So this is just a little goofy thing that I like to do. But because of copyright, we're going to hide Shia for a moment. Thank you for the like on YouTube. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Nice. Thanks, Shia LaBeouf. We are totally in a streaming mindset now. I look like Mr. Clean. No, I'm Dr. Clean. Close. Good guess, though. Okay. So let me pull this up. So at the start of these streams, I like to share some quotes that like resonate with me. So here's one. Where's it at? Okay, so this one I heard from Chris Williamson, and this is like paraphrased from it. So the quote is, "Success is not a destination, it's a horizon that moves with you." And that really resonated with me. Like when I got my bachelor's degree, I was like, yay, this is great. I've been working for this for a few years. And then it was like, well, now I want to get the master's degree. And then when I got the master's degree, it's like, yay, I worked on that for a couple of years. And it's like, okay, well, now I want to get the PhD. And then when I got that, it's like, yay, now I want to work on other things. So like every time you get to that goal that you have in life, there's this tendency, at least for someone like myself, where I'm like, okay, now what? What's the next thing that I want to learn? What's the next thing that I want to improve or get better at? And that is kind of normal. But the thing is, you can't really just focus on like the end goal and that destination because it's going to continue to move. You need to learn to like love the process rather than feeling unfulfilled 24/7 because you haven't reached that destination that is inevitably going to move with you. Instead, focusing on like, what can I do to progress in some way to get better? That is what I highly recommend as somebody who is a bit type A with constantly trying to learn new things. What? Surprise, surprise. No way. Hello from India. That's cool. I haven't been to India. Kind of flew near it. Gamer, good morning. Welcome back. Let me turn this up. So this morning, what we're going to do is we are going to warm up, and we're going to warm up with, woo, that was weird. a shopping spree that inspired the shopping spree that I wrote yesterday that we're then going to learn. So this one is the Blue Devils 2000 shopping spree. And we're going to go into the timestamp, just like any of these play-alongs. You just go into the timestamp, and you can jump to whatever BPM you want. And we'll just do a few reps of this, and then I'll stretch and massage, and then I'm going to work on the 3-4-5, 5-4-3 shopping spree that was inspired by this spree. Sweet. It's a fun one. And thank you for the sub if I didn't say it, Reginald. Appreciate it. Hello on YouTube. A little late on the left. Hands are feeling tight, but the stretchy massage that we'll do in a minute will help with that. Thank you. I like the drum as well. It's actually my wife's drum kit. It's pretty. Speaking of my wife, that's you. Oops. I appreciate the sub, thank you. Yeah, so my drum kit is black, but my wife's looks prettier, so we put that on the camera. And we'll play with that, hopefully starting next week, once the wound on my head heals. And then I can use headphones again. Sweet, last rep, and then we're gonna stretch and massage. Sweet. Let's stretch and massage now. So this routine I do every single practice stream. Days off are also a good time to do it. I learned this because of hand injuries and whatnot. Hey, stop. Stop. There we go. It was still going. But take your sticks, hold them, palms facing up. Turn this way. Turn this way. Push it out. Ooh-wee. It's a good stretch. I learned it from my first drum teacher 26 years ago. Time flies. I'm old. And just go back out the way you came. If you do traditional rotate and hold right there, then rotate and hold the other end of the continuum for your rotation speed, but I don't do that anymore, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now we're going to stretch the underside of the tendons. You could do it like this. You could do it on your pad like this. Or you could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Just don't put all your weight into it. We're going to do that one right here. Ooh, that feels good. And next, we're going to stretch the top side of the forearms. You could do it like this, one at a time. You could do it like this. You could do it on your legs. If you do this on the wall, the higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Again, don't put all your weight into it. You don't want to tear stuff. It's bad. And the last stretch we're going to do is thumb to thumb. So this goes twice as fast. You could do it one at a time like this. But we're going to stretch each one of the fingers, and then we'll do a little massage routine. And then we're going to learn 3-4-5, 5-4-3, shopping spree, which I just wrote yesterday. And it was inspired by the shopping spree that I was just playing, where it has that 3-4-5 pattern with the phlegm accents. And I was like, what if you did that, and then you did like a palindrome where it kind of went backwards, and combine that with like stock shopping spree, drag cheese 5, cha-cha-cha, inverts, and then cheeses of those. Hiccup, my apologies. Display of violence there. Now we're going to massage thumb on top and fingers underneath. We're just trying to relax the muscles. You might need to also stretch like your upper body as well as like your shoulders, things like that. I do that before the stream. I do a little workout. So if you're tight in like your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, massage them, stretch them, get them nice and relaxed. That tension will work its way down your arm, and that leads to bad things with your playing. Ask me how I know. Thankfully, I haven't had those issues in a while. Most of the injuries that I get are like, I burned myself cooking. Oops. Okay, now we're going to massage the hand. The palm's going to get massaged with the thumb, and then the fingers are going to massage the back side of the hand. So again, just getting nice and relaxed. And then we got one more little massage that we're going to do. And then we will work on that new shopping spree. Oh, and I should share a couple of other things I added on the website. Last massage is base to tip of each one of the fingers. Massage a couple of times, just like working your way up. Thank you for the like on YouTube. That helps more people find it, so I appreciate that. When people like my post on like TikTok or Instagram, YouTube, whatever, or just watch it or comment on it, all that helps the algorithm. Makes it so more people can find the free resources. And almost done. Almost. Okay. So, again, this is Blue Devils 2000 Shopping Spree. It comes out, I think, in a few weeks. We've got a new play-along scheduled every single day for the next few months. There's quite a bit. But the one we're going to work on today is this one, the 3-4-5, 5-4-3 Shopping Spree that I just wrote. But if you scroll all the way down to the technique stuff, I added in a new playlist for specifically 3 and 4 strokes. So this playlist, when you click on it, it has several exercises that are great for working on your threes, like the 3-stroke strength. Short, short, long works on both 3s and 4s. Isolated 3s is great. We also have chug with 3s and 4s, chugs with 3s and fast 4s, and then isolated 4s. Now there's a new one. It's currently members first, but again, every one of these is scheduled to release publicly for free, so it's just early access. But this one is interesting. I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. So the 1 is the 8th note, so you're playing 1 on each hand. Then you play 2, and then 1, and then 3 on each hand, 1 on each hand, 4 on each hand, and then 4, 2, 1's that. So you do 2 of each, 2 counts of each, and then 1 count of each. And so it kind of goes forward and then works its way backwards. So that's a fun exercise to work on, transitioning from 2s to 3s to 4s and kind of isolating those out. If you are interested in working on that, check out that particular playlist, the 3 and 4 stroke exercises. Now, the one that I'm going to be doing today is this one, 3-4-5, 5-4-3, I can't speak, shopping spree. And we're going to slow this all the way down to 40 and learn it and go a wee bit up on this. Just a little bit. Try to speed it up. At this speed, hopefully you can follow along with it. But this is a little spree that I wrote yesterday, inspired by Blue Devils 2000. I can't talk while playing. Excuse me up. 5, 4, 3, hence the name. 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3. Oops. I wrote it and I screwed it up. Fired. Unsub. Inverts. Cheese inverts. Nice. And now we go up, one click at a time. Welcome to the grind. This could also allow you to play along this, since it is scheduled to release for free in the future. But we've got a bunch of stuff coming out. You can play along to the VOD on my YouTube if you want to learn it. Yeah, so that second page, the phrasing on here. So we're going with like stock shopping spree. Drag, cheese, 5. Okay, that's like looks fairly normal. And on here we have cha-da-cha. So cha-da-cha, and then cha-da-cha-cha. And then we have our little cha-da-cha right here, and continues. But then you put a cheese on it. And then the last two is an invert variation, which is kind of interesting how it worked out, where almost every one of the accents is on the left hand, except for the very first one. So, fun little variation there. But, we're now at 42. So fast. I don't know if I can do it. It's too quick. Almost screwed up there. Oops. I read it wrong. I'm so sorry. I know. It's okay. Thumbs down, unsubscribe. I get it. Sweet. Last rep, and we'll get a quick water break. Oops. Played it as a flat max and said it inverted. I'm so sorry. Do I got any tips for how to play paradiddle? And other flams? You mean those? It's kind of like a Chicago, but instead of a diddle, it's a cheese. There's an exercise called Chicago Book Report under the chop section that kind of works on that. So it has and then the second half is the book report variation. Yeah, so suvine is two parts. It's actually two exercises that Roger Carter put together. So one part is Susie. If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too. That's definitely the lyrics for it. So that will help you with that half of it. But then this one, the Chicago Book Report, will help you with the other half of it, which is the part that I just played. So the first part is the Chicago part, and then the second part is the same thing but with book reports. Hey, Jeffrey. And then you book report it after you get rid of that like check part, etc. I just screwed up the invert phase there, but yeah. So that exercise, Chicago Book Report, will help you with that. that is one half of it, and then you put the other half with Susie, and that's how you get that. You got Susie down? Yeah, so just work this up slow. Like what I'm doing right now with a 3-4-5. 5-4-3. Chopin Spree. What are we at? 45? 45. What do I call paradiddle cheese flam flam? That's the Chicago. Here, I'll show you something. So, on here, I don't actually talk about this much, but this link, Common Rudiments, it takes you to a PDF. And the PDF has some common stuff on there and names for them. Granted, there's like sometimes multiple names for things. Like Shirley Murphy's are also called 1-2-3s. Cheeses are also called stutters for some people. I don't know why, but they are. But yeah, so Chicago is this one. Cheese Chicago. You just put the cheese on it. Then there's Book Report. And then there's a thing called Book Report's Little Brother. That one's a fun one. But check out that PDF. The Common Rudiments under the Chop section. I can help you out. Yeah, it's a helpful resource to just kind of check out. They're common for like hybrid rudiments. Like if you look at like the 40 essential rudiments on Vic Firth, I strongly disagree as those being essential. Like half of them are like, do 3 rolls, do 4 counts of rolls, do 5 counts of rolls, do 9 counts. It's like, okay, great, I get it. Rolls of different duration, cool. I think most of the stuff that's on there, like Radamecues and triplet Radamecues, like you literally will never play them. Whether it's rudimental or concert percussion, that was like popular like 40, 50 years ago. And now no one plays Radamecues, basically. Sorry, couldn't agree more. Yeah, so I used to have the 40 essential rudiments like up on my wall back when I used to teach privately, and just so I could like reference like, hey, let's work on this rudiment or let's work on this rudiment, etc. But I eventually was just like, what's the point of having this on my wall? It's just like taking up space because AI, your AI, that's cool. It's just like I don't use half of these. Like they're just complete waste of time. Yeah, I hear you. I wish they'd do an update or, you know, just like people share that common rudiments page that I created. So like that one is like common from like beginner up through DCI. If you can play all the rudiments on that page comfortably, then you'll be fine. Like you won't have issues with it. Have you seen the new articulate reel feel? No, I have not. Yeah, I have a reel feel over there, but I don't use that one on stream. But articulate reel feel, that sounds interesting. It's so cool to have AI stop in on my YouTube. High school band manager is asking me to teach. Yeah, so there's a video that I just released last Friday under the drumming tips. That's like quick tips for teaching a drumline. So that's like when I have answered some questions about how to teach. So there might be some tips in there when teaching the drumline. As I just repeat that. So this one is like asking questions to teach a drumline. Then we talk about the concept of not rehearsing but teaching instead. There's also when saying less leads to more results. The next topic is an educator versus performer continuum. Then we talk about instructors need to model the effort they want to see. So like there's a few different tips in here that might be able to help you out, but like just come back with some questions on like, hey, I worked with the 7th graders this week and I like have a question about how to teach blah. Then I can give you some tips on that. But that's awesome. That's how I actually got started. I started teaching a middle school drum summer camp with my drum instructor, and that led to me eventually going, oh, wow, that was fun. I enjoyed that challenge, and I want to like do more of it. And so that led me to getting like degrees in music education and all that stuff. You wrote it because you're in Brazil? Well, hello from Brazil. That's cool. I was wondering if I use AI to make the exercises. No. I have to write all these out. So yesterday I spent a few hours writing this one out. This was a brand new one. I use a lot of things to help me write these out to make it go faster. Like the reason why these are all 20 to 160 beats a minute is because it's easier for me to use like a template that has the same starting and ending BPM, etc. But yeah, so I have to physically write out every single one of these exercises, which takes a long time, which is why I do this, full time. I am famous. Oh, well, technically I'm famous from the computer science stuff that I did. I had an old channel that has, that's owned by the nonprofit that I used to work for. But I made like curricular resources that's been used by millions of teachers and students around the world. So technically more people actually know me from the computer science stuff than from the drumming stuff. But I think we're at 46. Oh, it has laminates on it. That's interesting for the real feel. Yeah, my real feel held up, but the edges are like crumbly. You can still drum on it. But it was a good pad. It wasn't too loud, and it had the double-sided. Nice. Let's see, let me read your comment. I'm learning a snare break or something. You learn the hard parts first. That's an interesting question. So it depends on it. I actually have a video that talks about this. Okay, so we're at 47. Let's remember that. Let me answer your other question first. So I used to march traditional. Like if you go to my /CV on my website, which shows like my degrees and publications, presentation stuff. But underneath it is a little picture of back when I marched snare. So that was when I was center snare in 2004, 20 years ago for Academy. So that's me right there with hair playing traditional. So I marched snare, so used to play traditional, but I don't play it anymore because it's kind of irrelevant. It's not a great technique that's applicable to like all the concert percussion stuff that I was doing for my undergrad. so I don't do that. But to answer your question about like learning, so if you go down underneath the tips and lessons, which is like /drum, and go into the drumming tips section, there's a video on here for tips for memorizing music. And so the start of this video actually talks about like different approaches for how you can learn different parts. But there's a lot of other tips that talk about like how I actually try and improve it, like learn different things. So it depends is really the answer. But I like to get a full like rep all the way through, start to finish, so I can figure out what the trouble spots are, and then we'll kind of focus on those more. Because if you just do start to finish on like a concert piece that might be like several pages long, like let's say it's like a 10-minute marimba solo, and that's at performance tempo. If you play from start to finish of that at whatever tempo you need to play, then you can figure out, okay, what are the difficult spots? Where do I need to spend more of my time? Like 60% of my time will be focused on this, and then 40% will be focused on other things. That can help you out with that, whether it's like rudimental or concert percussion or whatever. What's the difference between marching reso heads, concert? Yeah, so Mylar versus Kevlar. So Mylar heads, for the concert stuff, I don't have any Mylar heads on. I guess the bottom heads are, but they are clear plastic, whereas the Kevlar has basically fibers woven into it. So it goes like a cross, and then there's another layer of fibers that create like extra strength behind it. So the Kevlar heads are constructed differently. So it might have the same like top and bottom, because it's a 2-ply usually. For most heads nowadays, you can find some single ply, but those usually break really easily. But the double ply, if you put there's like a little bit of like an oil in between, and so that makes it so that the heads won't get brittle and they'll kind of like last longer. But for the Mylar heads, it's just that. But for the Kevlar, it's that plus in the middle is that like Kevlar like interweaved threads, and so that makes it so it's stronger. So you're able to crank it for a higher tension, which is also why the it's back there. But the drum keys that I have for high tension are like longer handles, so you can get more leverage on that, more of a crank to it. So yeah. You thought reso heads were also Mylar? Yeah. So the resonant heads, yes, for marching snare, the top side is Kevlar. The bottom side, the resonant heads are Mylar. So sorry if I misspoke. Oh yeah, you were asking about the resonant heads. Yes. So they're similar. It's just a different type of like thickness on the Mylar. So the 2 layers of heads that you have on there, it's going to give you all sorts of different stuff. Like some like concert snares are like coated, and that'll give you like a different texture. It also makes it so you can actually do some brush strokes and things like that, and all that fun stuff. But anyways, is this the new thing? Yeah, so this one, the exercise that I was just working through before I started answering some questions, this is the new one that's scheduled to release in the future, but we're at 47. So it's 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, shop and spree. So here's the 5, 5, 4, 3. drumlines used? Cheap? Single ply. Uh-oh. Yeah, they're easier to pop, though. So, it might be cheaper, but they won't last as long. Especially if you have, like, extreme weather, whether it's hot or cold. Like, living in Arizona my whole life, we had to worry about the heat. Like Black Maxes getting too hot in the summer. It'll, like, detune it. Ew. But if you go somewhere cold, then it can make it too tight. I keep doing that first part of the last line as just a cheese instead of a 2 on the left. 5, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, continues. It's a weird one, right? I can say that. I wrote it. +7 energy. We've leveled up. Okay. Let's see. So, I want to make sure that I start my Rise of Ronin stream on time. How long would it take? So, just another few more minutes. Okay, cool. And then we'll chop out. We'll go 5 more reps. Oops. I made a mistake. I know. It's okay. Unsub. I get it. Quite the workout on the right hand there at the end. When we speed that up, it's going to be a lot of right hands in a row. Oh no! I started playing the flam drags. Two more reps. Then we'll play something fast. Last rep. It's fun. I like it. But, you know, I wrote it. I hope I like what I write. It'd be good to speed this one up. Well, hello. Good. You're doing good? Good to hear. I'm doing good as well. Let's chop out with something. Let's play something fast. So that was from 40 to 54 beats a minute of that spree. Again, it's scheduled to release publicly. Give it time. There's like 150 some odd that are going to come out in the future. Do I want to play a chop exercise? Do I want to play a grid? Do I want to play like triple diddle? What do I want to play? Let's do chug. And we're going to do chug with hertas. Herta. There's a couple of variations in here. Again, all these ones I say members first. I promise. They're all scheduled to release publicly. I'm not hiding anything. There will be no paywall. These are just early access members if you want it. And Tuesday, the 1st, I'll be able to give 20 new memberships for free for people who might be interested in it. all you have to do to get it is click the join button, and then inside of here is...
For decades,
Ah! It's so loud. Screaming at me. Let's mute it. Mute it. Okay. You click the join button, and right here is gift settings. This one. And if you have allow gifts, then you can receive one of the memberships for free. It randomly selects on YouTube. So I wish I could pick like the people who engage the most, which seems to be like who it gives it to. So people who stick around for a lot of the streams, they seem to be getting it. But what is my name? It's my channel name, Jared O'Leary. But yeah, if you want them, you can get them for free. All right, 80 beats a minute, and we're just gonna go as fast as I possibly can until my arms spontaneously combust, burst into flames. Don't worry, my wife is standing off screen. She's going to put out my flames with a fire extinguisher. Now we're gonna go faster. Let's go 10 clicks at a time. You could go 1 click at a time like I was just doing. Or 20, or 50, whatever you want. We'll see how fast we can get today. Come on, YouTube, you can do it. Do it. Yes, you can. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Come on. Come on. Go. 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 Can I play Indian music? I did learn some hand drum stuff. So, like, we have a bunch of frame drums. Well, you know, it's still loading, but like ta den ta ke na ta den da ta ta den. But that was like forever ago. So, no, not anymore. But during my undergrad, I did. Kind of like marimba. I learned marimba. I was decent at marimba. Do I play it anymore? No. Do I own a marimba? Yes. Okay. Come on, YouTube. Oh, wow, look at that. High resolution. Don't worry, it's not your eyes. Apparently YouTube needs to be in low resolution right now. It's like when you go to the eye doctor and they're like, does this look better or worse? It definitely looks worse. Definitely looks worse. Well, I mean, at least it's playing this time. Hey, look at that. High resolution. Excuse me. Let's see how fast we can go. Ew. What country? The United States of America. Faster. 120. I'm guessing like 140 will be the breaking point today. Stay tuned, we'll find out. Today's episode. Okay, 130. Boop. I liked it better when YouTube had it like on the side. I don't know why they keep changing it back and forth. Then I could just keep it up. But having to scroll is nice. Now, all this is wristed, by the way. So, that's not like a rebound stroke. Here, I'll show you. So it's not fingers. It's all wrist. You too can develop fast wrist speed. Work it up slowly with a metronome. Or, you know, the thousands of free play-alongs on my channel. Under the home tab. 140. Let's try it. All right. This is probably going to crash and burn. Don't worry. My wife is still on standby. She's very patient. She's got that fire extinguisher ready. Oh, no. Did we break YouTube again? Go. Go. Don't know why my internet's being slow. Okay. Fine, YouTube. We'll stop. I guess that was the breaking point. YouTube's like, nah, that's too fast. Hello again. Okay, so that play along. You can find on my home tab of YouTube. We've got drumming, then gaming, and then computer science stuff organized. Just click on the header and it shows you the playlist. But the best place to go is actually /drum on my website. Every one of these play-alongs is either currently free or scheduled to come out for free. So if it says members first, I promise it's coming out. There's like 150 some odd of them currently scheduled, but there's still over 1,000 of them currently available for free. So we've got 55 drum chop exercises. We've got 372 triplet grid variations, 513 16th note grid variations, a bunch of timing exercise to work on limb independent stuff, 55 drum charts, 166 marching bass exercises, 139 technique exercises, all of the prior live streams, so you can go to the timestamps and check out what I talked about or what I was practicing, as well as where I answer questions. I put them into the drumming tips section in this playlist here. If you want to see what kind of sticks and pads I'm using, click on that link, and this takes you to, here's some books I recommend, here's some sticks, pads, etc. that I recommend, that I use in these streams, and the drum kit streams, which I'll hopefully be able to resume next week, etc. But you can find all that here. These are affiliate links, almost all of them, on Amazon. So if you want to buy like a very expensive TV, click on one of these first, and then buy the TV. And it gives me like a 4%-ish back from Amazon, which helps me out for free at no cost to you. Can I play that? No, I haven't played Indian music in a long time. So my undergrad was 2003 to 2008, and that's when I did a little bit, just a little bit, of Indian music for a couple of different ensembles or classes, and it was very cool. Like, what's his name? Ustad Zakir Hussain. I probably mispronounced that terribly, but he's a tabla player, and man, that guy is like a drum set with fingers. He can just like play anything. It's so musical, so cool sounding. But highly recommend anyone check that out if you haven't listened to it yet. Tabla music is just amazing. If there's another percussion instrument that I would want to learn, it would definitely be the tabla. Like, that would be my number one on the list of things to work on. But speaking of things to work on, we should be back tomorrow morning working on more things, more practicing. I'm going to get ready for the Rise of Ronin stream, and there's also a Minecraft video that's coming out. If you go to /game, you can find all the highlights and whatnot for games that I played, as well as all the streams. So, for example, like the Minecraft streams, you can find them here. But on my home tab, again, is where you can find all the drumming stuff, all the gaming stuff, and all the computer science stuff neatly organized. Just click, boop, and it just shows you that. One time come to India? Yeah, maybe one day. The closest I've been to India was Mongolia, which was not super close, but closer than where I currently am. But Mongolia was cool. Anyways, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to get ready for some Rise of Ronin. But I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you enjoy this content, just share it with somebody else. Goodbye.